My name's Drew, and I just bought this 2011 salvage Camaro, and I'm going to try to flip it. First, I went on Copart, and I bought it for $35.50 at auction. My plan was to flip this car, so I made sure it was close so the shipping cost was low. When the car showed up, it looked amazing.
It's not that bad.
The damage was what I expected. Next, my buddy and I pushed it in the driveway. After getting the lug nuts off with the impact driver, my buddies and I tried to get the wheel off the rotor for a long time, but the structure was bent against it, so we couldn't. My dad and I tried to pry it off with a hammer and crowbar, but we couldn't do it. Later that night, my buddy Eric came with his Jeep, and we tried to bend the control arms with it. Alright, so that wasn't working, so we tried jacking the wheel up.
Oh, maybe this. It's falling on the jack stand, right?
Yeah.
We got it.
Holy sh! Might have bent the jack a little, but if you can see, the wheel is coming off. Alright, so we got the top of the wheel off, but the bottom was still stuck because of the body, so we had to get a bigger jack. Later, we decided to jack it up from the left side of the rim, and it ended up working. We finally managed to get the wheel off.
And I can't wait 'cause life's so damn fast. I never thought it could crash.
Alright, so the wheel was in pretty good condition. The tire was obviously popped, but the rim was pretty good. I think we can keep the rim. Yeah.
Dude, this is sick.
Later, my friend Chinmai helped me get the brakes off. We found out for harder lugs to get loose, you can't use the hammer. That doesn't work. But if we use a 20-pound dumbbell and get it up here and slam it down, it works. Next, we had to replace the spark plugs.
Oh my goodness. There's smoke out the door.
We got it.
Smoke?
No, it's out of the exhaust.
After running the OBD port, we saw there was 2 misfires, so we replaced the spark plugs to fix them. Magnet to get the spark plug out. Got it, baby.
That thick.
Woo! We got spark plug number 1. It's pretty fucking burnt. Alright, we got the anti-seize all on the spark plug. Using pliers to get it in. This is a 6-cylinder engine, so we did this 6 times. And then we'll screw it in with the torque wrench. Now we got our torque wrench set to 20 Newton meters. And we're torque wrenching it in. So it's night right now. My buddy and I just got these spark plugs out. As you can see, some of them are pretty fucking black on the ends. And bad news, this second one right here was actually drenched in oil. So that means that the spark plug hole has a problem. Did everything right?
Yep.
Alright, these spark plugs. See how they misfire. Looks like it was running good. Run the code, see what happens. Nothing's wrong. Took the rotor off. Here I was turning on to make sure the axle spun.
Spinning.
Since this axle was all good, I think there's no differential damage.
Spinning.
Got the axle nut off with the impact driver. And here we're just taking off the lower control arms so we can replace them. Removing the wheel hub.
See, that shit's out already.
After getting all those parts off, we ordered all the new control arms, and while we waited, we decided to change the oil. And of course, the drain plug was stripped, so it took way longer than it should have. We ended up hammering this socket so it was flush, and then the ratchet ended up working. And the oil told us that the head gasket wasn't blown since it wasn't a light color. Here I'm changing the oil filter. New drain plug. New oil filter and oil going in. Here we replaced the lower control arm and shock.
Got a new upper control arm.
Got a new lower control arm. We had to lower the subframe to tighten the bolts of the new upper control arm. Look at that difference. I also realized the suspension adjuster link was supposed to be straight, so I ordered a new one. In the meantime, I vacuumed out the inside because it was pretty dirty. I got the new suspension adjuster link on. Now I was putting it together to see if I can ride it. Here I tried hammering the piston back in for the brakes, but it didn't work, so I went to AutoZone and got a C-clamp, and that ended up working. Reassembling the brakes. Put some new brake fluid in, and bled the brakes. Found out another control arm was bent, so I went and replaced it. Put the wheel on and it looked good, so I went and got a new tire. Went to the local tire shop and they put it on and balanced it out for me. Put the wheel on and it was ready for the first drive. And this car wasn't registered yet, so I could only go around the block really. I noticed the camber was a little off, so I went and got a wheel alignment the next day. The next step was to get a new rear bumper. Got this one on eBay for $200. Got the old bumper off and switched to the electrical. And while it was off, I wanted to cut the quarter panel out. I didn't really know what I was doing, so it took a while.
Working on a 2011 Camaro.
Finally got this piece off. Found out it was raining the next day, so I had to get this rear bumper on. I ended up going on a drive after that, and the ABS was going on even though I was just driving normally. So I took out the ABS fuses. The car ran great after that. Next, I was going to do my body work. This is the piece that I cut out, and I brought it to my buddy's place so I could try to bend it out and then weld it on. First, I tried to use clamps to unbend it, and that didn't work really well. Did some weld prep. Then I tried using a hammer on some wood to get rid of the dents. The piece went from this to this. Here I was practicing some MIG welding because I'm used to TIG.
Every day.
Next, I used twist clamps to hold the piece on the car. I acetoned it and started MIG welding. After doing tons of research on the weld settings and what I could do to make this weld easier, I realized that I'm better off buying a new quarter panel. Here I want to show you a motorcycle that my buddy Ian and I built. It took us a couple years, but they were definitely some of the most fun years of my life, so I just want to show you our result. The guys at this house taught me to do a bunch of engineering stuff, and more than that, they were just great friends. So Ian and Jeremy, thanks for everything you guys did for me. So I cut the piece back out and I ordered a new one. Instead of getting the full thing, which was super expensive, I found a guy who had the same Camaro, which was crashed on the other side, and he cut out the perfect piece for me. The piece came. This time I had a professional do the bodywork with me, so I didn't mess up so bad. Removed the trunk and the bumper again. Kevin! This is the professional, and he gave me 3 steps to do first. First, blowtorch all the spot welds we're going to be using to weld on the new piece. Then brush it to get the paint off. Then hammer a pry bar in to separate the body panel and the structure. And here's the result.
Rhymes crazy. I don't sit on time lately. I know we gon'
He worked his magic with the air hammer. We paid someone to come get the windows out. Now we had to cut out the wheel well on the piece I got from eBay because my car already has one. We fit the new piece onto the car. Here's some pictures.
Say no more, say no more, say no more.
Then we put weld through primer on all the spot welds. Here I did all the spot welds next to the door. Then I grinded them out. Then the professional did all the hard welding. Here we sanded it down to reveal any dents that were in the new piece. Then the pro got all the dents out with this dent remover. He put Bondo on to cover all the welds, and then he smoothed it out. The next day he primed it. So then we put everything back together. So I shipped it back to my place and put the seats back in. I gave it a wash. I got the windows officially put back in, and then I got this side marker light. Drove it around for the first time with the new quarter panel. Alright, so I just finished my 2011 salvage Camaro, and now I'm going to share some things that I learned along the way. So first of all, you're going to be paying a lot of fees if you're flipping a salvage car. I mean, I'm talking auction fees, delivery fees, you know, and insurance. You got to get a rebuild title, which is a whole process in California, and I learned a lot. I didn't make that much profit. We started with, bought the car for $35.50, then paid $1,000 in auction fees and delivery, because Copart, that's just how they are. You know, I had to get side marker light, which is $50, a new rear bumper, which is $200, quarter panel, which was $300, and then spark plugs, oil. It was a lot, but at the end of the day, I learned a lot, and that was what was worth it, and I had a lot of fun. And so, if you have like $4,000 to spend, and you're gonna get your money back, do it. Just make a little project. So yeah, I'm trying to sell it right now. I'm selling it without the paint job, because paint jobs are too expensive nowadays. What else? Yeah, so I'm gonna try to sell it for $6,000. As of now, I have the vehicle inspection tomorrow morning. The smog check I got for $40, and yeah, I'm getting my plates, and I'm just gonna put it on the marketplace, see what I can get for it. Hoping for $6,000, make like probably $500 profit. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I had a fun time. I probably put a total of probably around 100 hours into this project. Hey, it was fun. So thanks for watching.
Heaven did me right now. I can see us living in the White House.